What's going on, guys? This is your boy Tariq Kingdom Diplomat. I got the throwback with the backwards hat and everything. Back in the 80s, 90s. Hey, give me about 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Come again, bring a friend. 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. I gotta get a theme song. 30 more seconds, guys. 30 more seconds. All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's see who we got here. Woo! We got Takura. What up? What's going on, champ? What's up, King? No man. Karen Thappa. Magar. What's going on, people? Hope you guys are doing well. I thought I'd just flip the script from right here to right here. A little throwback to the 80s and the 90s, as I said before. Hopefully y'all can see that. That's the title right there. Write that down. Write that down. Go ahead and write it down now. Hopefully you got a paper and pen, pencil. Shoot a quick text. This link out, my link out to your neighbors, family, friends, co-workers. Let's go, let's go, let's go. You will not hear about this knowledge at work tomorrow. You will not hear about it whether you work for the government. Federally, statewide, locally, worldwide, any nonprofits. Most likely you will not hear about this at your public or private school. You won't hear about it from your boss or your mom, your dad, your friends, your family. This is knowledge that you have to be open to, okay? So the fact of the matter that you're listening here, if you have the right heart and you're open to listening to this, lets me know that you don't want to waste time because we're always on the clock, right? Sooner or later, all of our clocks run out, okay? So let's see. Did you know that you have an inheritance? If you don't know what that word means, I'm going to break it down for you, okay? So before I do that, I want to welcome new subscribers. If you have not subscribed, please do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe. So that algorithm will kick this to you or come up when I have new content. I have a library of content. This is episode 61. That's right, 61. And this channel right here is not about me. This is a calling for me. I believe I believe all mankind has a vision that was planted inside them before they were delivered through the womb, right? Through a womb woman, okay? So some of you I've invited out and you subscribed, and I told you it's about business. I promise you this is about a business, or this is pertaining to business, is business transactions. Not what you would think more in the natural, but it also I did tell you guys that there is some spiritual, mental, and physical connections all throughout this. Why? Because mankind is a spirit, they have a soul, and we live in a body. So none of us is a mistake. Okay. I repeat, none of us is a mistake. Okay. So I know a lot of people are, going through this, going through some mental challenges, physical challenges, spiritual challenges. Some are all three. But this channel right here is to unscramble a lot of that, right? How do you figure that, Tyreek? Well, it's very simple. How do you get back on track? Well, first and foremost, you have to understand that you're off track, okay? I'm not completely realigned with my vision. Are you listening to me? I'm not, okay? There's some things I still need to get completely, perfectly realigned, kind of like railroad tracks or true north, as they would say, okay? So if you're an old subscriber, thank you for continuing to follow me. Please go ahead and like and send this out to other people, because a lot of this is a compilation and a composite of a lot of amassed knowledge, the right kind of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom I've accumulated by some mentors over the last 15 years, as much going back to 25 years, a lot of books, success principle books. Life is about thinking, okay? And it's a natural experience, but living in a spiritual body with a soul, okay? I know that's kind of confusing. And yes, I will get into the business part also too. Business, the concept is always intertwined into this. I'll finish with that whole business thing, okay? But the natural is actually the last part. So what I like to do is I like to start from the inside out. Have you guys ever noticed that everything grows from the inside out? That actually is a law, okay? And I don't like to give my opinion. I've said that before. I will say this a billion more times. I don't like to give my opinion because my opinions don't matter. Your opinions don't matter. The only thing that matters in this physical, mental, and spiritual interconnection life that we're living is very simple, is that it's all based on laws. See, a manufacturer, as I said before, has a product. This phone is a product. Everything is a product, and a product comes from an idea, comes from the mind, okay? That's the most important. The 6 inches of land between your ears, or mind share, if you want to write that down, mind share, I like to call it land, is between your ears. So life is 98% attitude, perspective, 2% work. 98% attitude, 2% work. The millionaire that you passed by earlier today that you didn't know who was a millionaire, a thousandaire, a billionaire, right? There has been trillionaires in the past, but this is not just about money, because that's just about being rich. But you have to be wealthy. There's a big difference between wealthy and being rich. Rich people, they talk about material things. Rich people, they talk about what they have, right? Wealthy people talk about ideas. Wealthy people talk about serving their fellow man through leadership, right? Every man, meaning male plus female, is a leader But guess what? We're trapped in a follower. So I'm 100% convinced, guys, that we have the wrong concept of leadership. I've read leadership books. I've been to leadership seminars. I know of one of the top leaders who probably makes maybe 20, 30 million a year. And not to say all the concepts are wrong, but I would say overall, yes, because we think that leadership has to do with how many people are following us or subscribe to us on a social media channel, right? How many people voted for us because we're in this particular office of presidency or prime minister or whatever it is, right? In a democratic republic, okay? Which is most of the world, right? Comes from the Greeks. And as you already know, if you look at the Greek leadership, they basically say their ideology is if you don't look like me, right? You are my slave. That's the concept of a democrat, right? Democrat. Even a republic, republic is essentially a recapitulation of a democracy, right? Just a little bit different. They all have elements, but I'm not going to get into that. And also a kingdom, a kingdom is very important, which I'll talk about here very shortly. All right, so go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and like. I really appreciate it. All right, now I have a true story. I promise you've never heard of this story before. This is actually a true story. Okay. So this is going to help give you a depiction. Actually, before I give you this true story, let's look up this definition in Black's Law. Write that down, Black's Law book. When you look up, because this whole life experience has to do with legality. Okay, legality, 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 and it's all law-based. There's a difference between law and legalism or legality. Okay, write that down. Okay, now let's look up inheritance. Now, before I get into that, hopefully you understand what that word right there means. No. Okay, see that word right there? No. That means it's short for knowledge, information. Information means light, not light bulb or light bulb off, right? Or light and darkness. It has nothing to do with that. Although there's a correlation, okay? It means knowledge. Now, if you don't have knowledge, that means you have darkness. Darkness means ignorance. Ignorance is not bliss. Okay, being ignorant. Having ignorance in any different area of learning principles and laws lead to perishing. All mankind is perishing. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you're a millionaire. I don't care if you're a thousandaire. I don't care if you live on the bridge, you live in the woods. All mankind is perishing because of lack of knowledge, which means darkness of the laws of the manufacturer. Okay, so mankind is a product. Mankind is a royal species. You want to write this down? You want to write down something significant you never heard in school, public or private school? Royalty has to deal with the color purple. Purple, write that down. That's very significant, dealing with an inheritance. Mankind is a species, a royal species, is dealing with purple. You say, why did they send me male in all caps? The color black. Black means dead or death, okay? In terms of contracts, okay? I'm not going to get into that, but you should write that down. Please write that down because that's going to come up later on in life, okay? Now, let's get into this. Black's Law. I'm going to read this to you, and you should look this up. Okay. So this is going to be, let's see. You know what? Let me just look at the word inheritance and the general meaning, okay? Let's do that. I'm going to pick Merriam Dictionary because the Merriam Dictionary you guys are very familiar with, okay? So you don't think I'm making this up. All right, inheritance, the act of inheriting property. Oh my gosh, I'm getting excited already. The reception of genetic qualities, not just physically. Okay, you don't just look like your dad or your mom or your grandparents or your aunt, your uncle, your great aunt, great uncle, cousins, or whoever. Okay, by transmission from mom or dad to offspring. This is talking spiritually too and mentally. Okay, it's been proven. If your parent, what your mom and dad, your grandparents have um, experience, gets recorded in your cells from the cellular level. Trauma gets recorded in your cells. So you can go as far back as 4 generations. A generation is 30 to 40 years. Okay, you should look that up yourself. All right. Here's the third definition of inheritance: an acquisition of a possession, condition, or a trait from past generations. Some of you out there don't pay attention to your past generations. Shame on you. Okay. Physically, mentally, and spiritually, they all have a bearing on you right now. Okay, some of you, here's the third traditional definition of inheritance: a valuable possession that is a common heritage from nature. Okay, now let's get into this. Here's the true story. Okay, so there was some Bahamian people. Okay, and it was a family, right? And hey, relax. Okay, if you're part of a different religion, relax. If you're part of the Christian religion, top 4 religions: Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, atheism, agnosticism, whatever your religion is, just hang in there. Okay, relax. This applies to everybody because we're all mankind. Okay, now check this out. So there was some Bahamian people, right? And they actually entered into a what do you call what's the word I'm looking for? Like one of those sweepstakes. Okay, so they won a cruise, true story, 7 day cruise, or it might have been 5 day cruise. Okay, now check this out. So they were elated, excited. Now let me draw a picture of their background. Okay, they were very religious. Okay, they believed in God, whatever their God was, right? They believed in God and did a lot of rituals, traditions, rites, and all different types of things. Good people. Okay, love the Lord. All right, and they won this cruise. Okay, there was a family, or it was 2 people, I think it was. It might have been a family. Okay, well, anyway, so they won the cruise. Okay, beautiful ship. Okay, huge ship, probably like 10 stories. Man, they got all these different amenities on it. They have food buffets, right? They have entertainment of all different kinds, comedy entertainment, right? They have music entertainment, all different types of musicians coming to play, right? From around the world on this huge cruise ship. They have pools on the cruise ship. They have all these different type of games on the cruise ship, right? If you've been on the cruise, put in the chat box if you've been on a cruise. I've been on the cruise. Put in cruise in there if you've been on the cruise, okay? And they had pools. They had all types of entertainment on this cruise ship, right? Okay, thousands of people on the cruise ship. Okay, walk with me with this. Perfect weather, 80 degree. They had to fly down to Miami, okay? They had to chart, they had to get on the cruise ship, right? And they were so excited, right? So right before they get on the cruise ship, they go by the store and they buy some cheese and crackers. Now, why did they buy cheese and crackers? Well, they'd never been on a cruise ship before, guys, okay? Now, their life before that was very nominal, right? They struggled from paycheck to paycheck, right? But love God, okay? And they're good people, right? They gave to people, they tithed, they wanted to help people out, they helped their neighbors out. They were just amazing people, okay? Good salt of the earth people, right? They just loved God, right? And they loved people, okay? Now, um, you know, typical thing, car trouble, sometimes stuff with the kids, all this lifelong stuff that we have, right? Just living life, right? Speed bumps in life, potholes in life, they had to go through. Okay. So, as I said before, they amassed a week's worth of cheese and crackers, if you can imagine this, right? And they put them in their bag and they went to their room. True story. True story. Okay. So they go into their room, right? And they look out the window. They're just so happy and it's sunny and the seagulls are flying by. They're leaving Miami, right? They can hear the ship's horn and they're just having a whole lot of fun in the room, right? So after just being elated, talking, just so excited, man, I love the Lord, man. I wonder what such and such was doing. I what my neighbors are doing, the texting and everything till they don't have any more reception. Okay. Man, when I heard this totally just blew me away. Okay. But this is about inheritance. Don't forget that. This is about inheritance. Okay. So, they eat their cheese and crackers, and then after day one goes on. Okay. And then they get a knock. Okay. Then there's housekeeping. Housekeeping, right? You guys stay in the hotel, been on a cruise, right? And he was like, man, don't worry about this. Man, we're just so excited about this cruise. We'll make up our beds. We'll straighten up the room. Thank you so much. Okay. So this happens for number two. They never leave the room, right? Because all their stuff that they have is in there. This happens on day 3. They never leave the room. This happens on day 4. They never leave the room. And each day the housekeeper comes. Housekeeping. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got the bed. We got the whole room. We'll make it up for you. Hey, thank you so much. Hey. I don't have no money on me. We can't afford, but here's some cheese and crackers. We got some extra one. Here's some cheese and crackers. And the maid kind of looks at him like, what the heck is it? Throw this stuff away. I ain't taking no food from nobody I don't know. So the 4th day comes around. Same thing. Okay. The 5th day comes around. Now, at the beginning of the 5th day, I kid you not, this is true. The assistant, the mate, comes knocking at the door. Why? Because they take a roll call. Okay. What the mate notice is that there's seats missing of this family, and the mate finally looks it up on the roll and says, oh, this family in A14, room A14, they never filled their seat for the entertainment, sat at the buffet, did this, did that, used all the amenities, right? So he went back and told the captain. Okay, the captain's like, okay, when we get ready to dock, when we get ready to kind of settle down and dock back in Miami, I'm gonna go down there and see him. So the whole day passed by and the family's just so elated. They're so excited. I just love the Lord. I'm so excited. We're going to get back. We're going to tell everybody about the cruise, our neighbors, our church members, our family, whatever, religion they were part of. Okay. So they about to dock. This is about 15, 20 minutes before they're about to dock. The co-captain says, hey, I need to go down there and find out why these seats were vacant. Okay, I kid you not. I'm not making this up. This is a true story. So he comes all the way down, knocks on the door. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Such and such. Hey, come on in, Doc. Come on in, Cap. So the captain comes in and says, hey guys, I noticed that you weren't at the seats. You didn't enjoy these amenities. You didn't enjoy the buffet. You didn't enjoy everything and everything like that. So, oh man, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. We love you. We love the Lord. And we're just so elated. This 5-day cruise. Keep in mind, they did not leave the room, guys, for 5 days. I said 7 earlier, but it was actually 5-day cruise. Okay. So he says, you guys don't know, do you? Know what, sir? So did you know that those tickets, now keep in mind, he didn't know that they won it, but those tickets that you have included everything on the ship. And the husband and wife looked at each other with the most dumbfounded, horrific, confused look, kind of like 14 cows looking at 14 new gates, if there's such a thing. They did not know right before they're about to dock in Miami that that ticket included the whole ship. Now, let me segue into this. This is the depravity of mankind. You see, when we were born with an inheritance. Okay? Now, I'm not getting into people that are evil, people that are wicked and using it wrong, the gifts wrong, the talents, abilities, doing it the wrong way. I'm just using mankind, the species of mankind, the royal species, just in general. Okay? So, we were born with an inheritance. Now, the manufacturer knows the product. In the product, before the product is actually released, follow me now, into the marketplace, the manufacturer knows the product inside and out. As a matter of fact, the manufacturer does not trust the consumer with the product. So, what does the manufacturer do? He or they create something called a manual. Man, get it? Manual. Okay? A maker's mind. Now, in the product, production, product. Okay? Look that up. See what the origin of the word product means. There was implemented in the product laws or principles for the product to succeed at the highest level. Are you listening to me? Okay. Now, the image of the product does not get put on the product until it's finished. It's till it's finished, till it gets to the end of the assembly line. Okay. So it's tested by white people, or not white people, black people. Well, actually, all different kinds of people. White people, yellow people, whatever. All different kinds of mankind. I meant to say white suits. Okay, white suits. People in white suits test the product. Okay, so relax. I'm not. I don't care what you think. But anyway, naturally speaking, I'm a mutt. Okay, I got Asian in me. I got Alkebulan, which is / African. I also got European in me. So relax. Okay. Now let's get back to this. All right. So the product has all the programmability. Is that right? Is that a word? Programmability. It's been a long day. Okay. It was designed to succeed. Okay. All right. Maybe my blood sugar is low. But anyway, I know how to get that up. So mankind actually has an inheritance. Okay. Now, I'm going to switch over to this. Let's talk about business. Okay. All mankind, yes, you, even females, okay, are kings. Okay. Kings. Now, if you don't know what a king is, look it up. Now, a king has full autonomy, full authority and power over all the territory. He owns the people. He owns the cattle. He owns the air. He owns the food. He owns the land, under the land, above the land, all the natural resources. Are you following me now? Okay. All the territory. But the king's responsibility is over the citizens and over everything that he is responsible for. Right? Are you following me? Now I'm talking about this. So the king has a reputation. Okay. The manufacturer has a reputation of the product. Right? That's why in the manual it says guarantee and warranty. I guarantee you this product will succeed if you follow these steps. Mankind is guaranteed to succeed at the right level if he or she does it righteously. That means to be rightly aligned with the manufacturer's manual. Are you following me? Listen to this 3 times, at least 3 times. Researchers say, why taking notes? You'll get it. Every time you listen to it, 10 to 15%, you retain more and more and more, okay? This took me years to get, okay? And I'm still learning nuances of it, okay? Now, so the king, follow me now, is responsible for his territory over the people, right? So the people can't be poor. The people has to have land, not real estate. Real estate means improvement. That's above the land. Land is from the land or the surface and below. That was changed. That's why you have to pay property taxes, because it's been incorporated. So all these different corporations, right? This is how it was stolen from us, okay? Now, you thought you were free when you were born, huh? Yeah, for probably maybe about 30 seconds. Some of you maybe about an hour, right? Until your dad or mom, which was contracted by the state, right? And by the federal government, which signed a birth certificate, which gave us, which registered, the word register in its origin means to give over rights to a man or woman, right? A man is born into the world. A woman is born into the world. A woman is a man with a womb, which is the doorway to this planet, okay? This involves business. Keep business owners keep hanging in there. Keep hanging in there. Get the concept. Okay. Now check this out. There's an inheritance, right? All right. So they tricked our mom and dad, signed us over into a birth certificate, right? Registered us, right? So now we're the debt slaves. We're the corporate debt slaves to fake fiat money. Most of you guys probably know this. If not, just look it up. Follow the money. Okay. So I don't have time to get into this. I want you to get about this inheritance, because if you get this, your whole life is going to explode in all areas. Okay. If you learn this, you understand it and you apply it. Okay. Now, so now the king dies, right? Let's say, naturally speaking, the king dies. The king leaves an inheritance to what? The sons, right? The sons. Now I'm talking spiritually speaking, but let's talk naturally. The sons and the daughters, right? They say the king dies. The princes and the princess, right? King dies, leaves it, right? To say the wife or the queen has already passed, right? Okay, so they leave the inheritance of the territory over to the children or the offspring. Okay, they receive an inheritance because they die, right? Now, also, what that means is that now they elevate from the prince elevates to a king, and then his sister elevates from a princess, right, from second level to a queen. Are you listening to me? Oh my gosh, you guys get this? My gosh, when I got this. Okay, now they're responsible for the territory. They're citizens. They have to make sure the citizens look great. They're dressed well. They look well. They're fed well, right? They're taken care of. The animals are taken care of, right? The land is taken care of, right? It's the king's and queen's responsibility. Now, what happens to a king and queen in the natural when their citizens have poverty, have lack, there's gang violence, there's this violence, there's this happening all over the place, there's sickness, disease, there's poverty. It makes the king and queen look bad, okay? Now, the 5 W's. Who are you? Identity. Where are you from? Origin. What can you do? Talents, abilities. Where are you going? Vision. Okay? Now, what's that? 5. So what, where, who, where you're from, and why. Okay? Oh, why? Purpose. Okay, so the 5 W's. All right. Now, how does that equate to business? Okay. So because we are products as mankind, we don't understand that we've been left an inheritance. Now, Tyreek, where do I get this manual from? Well, I'm glad you asked. Type in Bible in the chat box, please. Bible. Now, I'm going to repeat this 3 times, okay? The Bible is not a religious book. The Bible is not a religious book. The Bible is not a religious book. The Bible is about a kingdom government. Okay? Whether you live up under a bridge, you live in the woods, whether you're, as far as money is concerned or digits is concerned, even though money doesn't exist, whether you are a millionaire, billionaire, whatever it is, I don't care how much money you have. Okay? You have an inheritance. Okay? So that inheritance happens 3 different ways: spiritually, mentally, and physically. You say, Tariq, I don't know, I don't understand anything of the concept. That's okay. I didn't years and years and years ago. Okay? This was gradual. Revelation knowledge is gathered gradually, but revelation knowledge does not come to people who know everything, who are prideful, who are full of themselves, who know everything. You understand what I'm saying? I've been there, I've done that, right? So there's different laws. See, when I was open to, they call the law of integrity, guess what? I started saying, all right, I know I don't know anything. I hate where I'm at in this area, that area, every area. Okay, I don't care where I was at. Okay, I need to get better. And I started at one area at a time, right? One area at a time, right? So when I did that, guess what? All of a sudden, people started being brought into my life. I started connecting with people. I started making myself available, and I started learning these principles. Okay. All right, what's the fruit of these principles, Tyreek? Let's talk about something naturally. I said it last week, I said it before. So one of my business, I went from being an employee. If you're an employee, okay, great. That's awesome. That's better than not having anything at all. You got something coming in, okay? You have a skill set. Take that skill set. Turn that skill set. You got some cash flow coming in, turn that skill set. You said it's not enough. That's okay for now. Start a business. What it does is that when you have a job, this is your income right here. Some of you have a job is this one, but most people have a job, their income is this small, right? It's very, very teeny. You can barely see that, right? It's really, really, really small. Okay? Really small. Right there. Very small people, very, as far as income, some people have an income really big, but it's that small percentage. But most people have this small of an income. Okay, well, I didn't do that right. Well, you get what I'm saying. A small percentage of the people have big income. Most people have a teeny little income. That's not enough. Okay, most people are 6 months away from a tragedy happening, right, and them losing everything. Okay, so where's the fruit of what you learned, Tariq, from these laws? Okay, I told you last week, I told you the week before, I told you many times. I'll say it again. So I went from zero with a few $1,000s in the bank with a household of 6 people, okay? Nobody working at the time, in less than 5 years, okay? Was it 5 years? Maybe 7 years, somewhere around that area. And it took me a while to learn because I'm really hard-headed at different times, right? I probably should have done it in third at a time, really. But I had to go through some things, right? I had to learn some things. We all have our own different path, okay? Now, check this out. So in 35 days, yes, 35 days, okay? What's 35 times, how many hours is that? 0 carry to 1. That's 820 hours in 35 days. So in 820 hours, I'm just trying to give you some different perspectives. 35 days, me and a couple other businesses, we partnered together, did a national campaign, okay? And 35 days, I'm owed 6 figures, okay? Now, I was able to take some of what I just learned right there, understanding that I matter, okay? I am a king, not over people, but over my area of gifting. It's called leadership, okay? So understanding that I have at least one talent and ability, and I'm mastering that one talent and ability. My gift is teaching. So what did I do? I did research on etymology, learning the origin of words, learning how to use words, reading this book, reading that book, reading a book like this right here. Okay, write that book down. You should order that book. Okay, I raised myself from failure to success. Bam, the magic of thinking big. These books are probably, one book is about 55 years old. Why? The other book is about, let me see, when was this book written? I think back in the 20s or 30s during the Great Depression. Why? Because success principles, laws, and principles have no respect of anybody. Okay, they apply 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago. It didn't matter. Okay, 7,000 years ago doesn't matter. Okay, now doesn't have respect of a color, of a religion, or anything like that. Okay, now I said, hey, if I can do that in 35 days, I can do that in 1 second. Okay. I can do that multiple times over and over and over and over again. And that's what I'm working on doing right now. Okay. So, how does that equate to you? So, if you have a job, what did I say last week? Write down your vision. Okay. If you don't know what your vision is, write the word vision. Write down how do you want to live 3 years from now, 5 years from now. If you do not do that, listen to me, if you do not do that, who you work for and the people that are over you and government will determine how you live. Okay, you will be in subjection, in submission, a slave, as they would say an employee is. Okay, you can look it up. Don't get mad at me. That's what that means. Okay, if you don't determine where you need to go, then somebody else would determine it. Okay, that's very simple. All right, so in closing, inheritance. Realize that you have an inheritance. Realize the Bible has nothing to do with religion. I understand it's been preached like that for thousands of years, but they're wrong. Okay, they're wrong. And these are people that I love dearly. Okay. Oh, what about the fruit of that? Well, let's see. Under a democratic republic and other governments around the world, we got gangs, we got incest, we got child trafficking, we got drug trafficking, we got corruption at the highest level all the way down to the lowest level. We got lying, cheating, stealing, murdering, deception. We have, what else do you want me to name? Okay, so this is the fruit of what we've been brought into, right? This is our government type of fruit, right? Now, I'm not happy. How can I put this? I'm thankful. I'm grateful from where I was born at, right? Here in America, as they would say, okay? So it was because I was put here for a reason. Through the lineage, I was put here through all the people that came before me, all the way back to the first man called Adam, which means dark reddish earth, right? So, no, understanding that I have an inheritance. Once I learn these laws of the Bible, okay, and I understand it's not religious, look up the terms, look up sin, look up let's see, look up prosperity, look up propitiation, Propiation, propitiation. Look up whatever words in there. Look at the Hebrew, okay? Look at the Greek. Look at the origin. Look at the origin of the word. You will find out it has to do with government, okay? There was a mandate that was programmed into you and I, okay? There was a mandate that was programmed in you and I. Why? Because the king's reputation is at stake, and he's expanding his what? He's expanding his country, his invisible country, into the natural world called Earth, right? Because you got to remember, mankind is the spirit, soul, and the body. Don't you like this business class? If you get this, you can apply this. Because listen. Laws you cannot see. You can't see the law of gravity. Okay? It's in the unseen. It's in the spiritual realm. But you apply the law of gravity, the law of lift. I love using the example of flying. Okay? Flying. You apply the law of lift. It supersedes the law of gravity. But in that plane, there's certain laws that are programmed from the manufacturer into the plane or the jet, and the plane applies those laws and it supersedes gravity and it flies. When you look at it naturally, like, what the heck? There's no way that big heavy thing with people up there can fly. Yes, way. Okay. There's weather modification, right? Weather manipulation. There's all kind of biological things. There's biosensors put inside of us, nanoparticles put inside. There's all different types of laws, right? But mankind is reversing them, okay? Hey, if you don't like that, hey, don't get mad at me. I'm using my five W's. I know my five W's. I'm using my talents and abilities to help people, right? And because I do that, my family is well taken care of. Okay. And oh, by the way, there's an ambassadorship that's part of. See, once you learn this stuff, you become an ambassador, right? Now, an ambassador pays no bills. An ambassador is well taken care of. Look up the definition of an ambassador. That has to do with an inheritance. Okay, inheritance. Look that up. All right. So, what's my point, Tyreek? And I'm closing out. We are living so far below of what we're supposed to live as a species called mankind. It's terrible, and it has nothing to do with the king. Well, I don't mean like that. Let me word it this way. It has everything to do with the king, but it's not the king's fault. Why? Because of that inheritance that was given to us and mandate that was given to us in Genesis 1:26, the NIV version, New International Version. Look that up. That's a mandate that's been programmed into us spiritually. Okay. So laws you cannot see, but laws, when you apply them, they manifest themselves into the physical. Okay. So hopefully it clicked for you. All right. Now, I'm pretty much done, guys. Man, I hope you got this. I was so excited about this because I'm learning something new every day. So you guys have a great, great week. Remember, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. You're new. If you've been in here before and you're already a regular subscriber, thank you guys so much. Please pass it on. Everybody pass it on to people. My gosh, if you just get 10 or 15% of this, right? And you learn that about these laws, man, I promise you, when life hits you, all you got to do is, I got it. I know which law applies here. And guess what? You'll be like a surfer when that tsunami wave comes through and you just, ooh, that wave will pick up the surfer and the surfer's just riding way up here. Or here's a better example. It'll be just like an eagle. An eagle has a special lungs, and they have these special wings, and they have these special when a hurricane comes, it never gets afraid. Why? Because when a hurricane comes, they can see a hurricane coming from 5-10 miles away. Okay, and guess what? They don't panic, right? What do most people do when there's financial things coming, and financial things are coming, so you better prepare. I've been preparing you guys for the last year and so some change. Okay, now they don't get afraid. They don't panic. They don't get anxious. Okay, what they do is they say, I already know there's laws designed, programmed inside of me by the manufacturer. So when the hurricane, it could be a category 5, 220-mile-an-hour winds, and the eagle is like, no big deal. And guess what? As soon as that draft hits the eagle, boom! Right before that, the eagle locks its wings. The draft sucks it up, pushes it up above the hurricane. And guess what? Right above the clouds. And the eagle is just flying up here. You know, I remember how we used to do when we were little kids, like Superman or something. Um, so, and the hurricane is down there on the ground tearing stuff up, but the eagle's above. So when the financial stuff comes, when the tragedies come, right? Believe for the best, expect the best, but prepare for the worst in every area of your life. Okay, that's something I can leave you that I learned from a legend. Okay, what's his name? Dr. Oral Roberts. Okay, Oral Roberts. That's what he said. And I'll never forget that. Okay, and that eagle's flying above that Category 5 hurricane, and it can't be touched. It doesn't mean that the eagle may be sad because maybe it's other birds that are below that can't do what the eagle can do way up here. Maybe they're being destroyed. Maybe there's some things that are happening down there that the eagle doesn't like. But because the eagle knows the laws that it's designed with, right? Knowledge, understanding, wisdom, they apply it. And when that hurricane comes, they're okay. And then the Category 5 hurricane passes. And guess what the eagle does? Unlocks its wings, comes right back down. And it's clear as day. Okay? So you guys have a great night. I may come on here during the week as I feel prompted to, but I know that helped you out tremendously. And don't forget, your future's not ahead of you. Okay? It's trapped on the inside of you in the form of a seed. You have to plant your seed in the right environment. It's not anybody else's responsibility. Quit blaming other people. Look in the mirror. Let your past go. I can't do anything about the past. Learn these principles that I just told you. The law of integrity, right? The laws of finances. Get some books. Get some education. Turn that stinking television off. It's not the television discovery. It's who's controlling the television that's making you stupid, making you look dumb, laughing at you, making movies that make fun of you and your family and your kids and your generations, all the stuff that they robbed and cheated from you before. Let's turn that thing off or cut it back down. Get rid of the pornography of sex. Get rid of the pornography of sports. Get rid of the pornography of this. Get rid of the pornography of that. Pornography, oh, I got all these different hobbies and everything like that. If you just give yourself an hour or two every single night, any of you just the so-called busiest person, right? That's the number one thing, distractions. Get rid of distractions, right? When you get a vision, when you write down your vision, you know how you want to live and how you want your kids to live and how you want to, where you want to be at. Guess what? The distractions, you can easily identify them, okay? And they will try to keep in there. Trust me, all right? This is a constant thing. Keep your vision in front of you, all right? Go to Canvas, C-A-N. I don't get paid from them yet. You know what I'm saying, to advertise. Go to Canva, C-A-N-V-A, okay? I got to do that myself too. I just learned that probably about 2 or 3 days ago. And you can put together a depiction of what you want to, how you want to live in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Put it all down and let your subconscious mind, your spirit, you get a hold of that, right? Look at it every day. Put some wallpaper in your room. Put some posters in your room. Put the wallpaper on your phone. Put it everywhere, okay? Remind yourself. Talk to yourself. Go embarrass yourself, so to speak, okay? Not embarrass yourself to other people, but go and make yourself, according to the world, look like a fool, okay? Start your own business. Start where you are. You already have skill sets. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing, this person's doing, that person's doing, that man or woman is doing. Doesn't matter, okay? Pay attention, okay, to things that are going around you, but pay more attention to yourself. Get selfish, okay? Leave a legacy for your family, okay? It's going to get rough. I'm telling you, before it gets better, financially it's going to get rough, spiritually it's going to get rough, but you got to have your anchor into these principles. Your anchor is your soul, okay? That's the middle part of you. Mind, will, emotions, intellect, that's your soul. You got to have it anchored in there, okay? All right, you can have the principles in your spirit, but you got to get them anchored in your mind. Why? Because when things happen in the natural, they're going to try to trick you, okay? They're going to try to get you off of those laws, okay? I know this personally in every area of my life. And once you know those laws, guys, I'm telling you, you'll rise above like that eagle, okay? That's true about the eagle. You should look it up, all right? So you guys have a great night. Have a great week. Write your vision down. Put your seed, your vision in the right area of life, the right environment, all right? Get rid of distractions and watch it happen automatically. Get the knowledge, get the understanding, apply it little by little, inch by inch, it's a cinch. Yard by yard, it's hard, okay? Success is so simple, guys, all right? Stop comparing yourself to somebody else. Comparison is the thief of joy, okay? Be excited, be grateful, be thankful every single day. Get rid of the parasites in your body. Oh, get rid of heavy metals. Seek, get knowledge, read. There's no excuse to be dumb or ignorant about that stuff, okay? Go get it, guys. Oh, before I leave, 6 things. This is worldwide. All mankind listen to me, all right? 6 nutritional supplements you need to have, okay? Boron, copper, that's for your mitochondria, your cells, your energy, okay? Bioactive copper, you should be able to find it, okay? Vitamin D, right? brain, chest, bones, heart, all the intricacies of the body, right? This is the engine right here, your brain that runs everything. Vitamin C, anti-inflammatory. Forget the crap, the cheap stuff, right? Pay a little bit more, eat less, okay? You don't have to eat 3 meals a day. Eat twice a day, eat once a day, right? Drink more electrolytes, okay? What did I say? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, selenium, especially. Men, listen to me. Males, listen to me. Males learning how to be men, okay? Listen to me. Selenium is a must, okay? Selenium is a trace element for your heart, okay? And iodine. Iodine, that's been all taken out of our food. 6. Boron, vitamin C, vitamin D, selenium, copper, and what was the other one? Selenium. No, I said selenium. Well, anyway, just go back. It was 6 of them, okay? So I'm done. You guys have a great night.